Today I'm going to be doing a synchronized draft with Yahoo and the machine. Once I've entered the machine, I shouldn't have to change any information regarding scoring rules or rosters or anything of that matter for the machine to operate. The machine should already understand my scoring rules, my roster limits, and all that information. If you want to double check that, you can do so under League Setup, Starting Lineup Requirements, and that'll show you my starting lineups. This is a standard Yahoo League, so I've got 1 quarterback, 3 wide receivers, 2 running backs, a tight end, a kicker, and a defense. I can check my scoring rules under League Setup, Offensive Player Scoring Rules, and Defensive and Special Teams Scoring Rules. But again, this should all be imported from Yahoo. The one thing you might want to change is also under League Setup, Draft Position Settings. And this is a brand new feature we added this year at the feedback of some of our users. Some of our users felt that from time to time, kickers and defenses would go a little too high. Now, we have improved the logic of the machine to understand that kickers and defenses are more readily available on waivers. However, sometimes we still feel kickers can be recommended a little too high. Maybe defenses from time to time will get pushed up a little too high. And if you want to not see those until a specific round, you can just type in the round. Like, I won't consider a defense until round 8. I won't consider a kicker until round 10. Now, I've made these changes and I can save them to the server. And my changes are saved. Now I'm ready to draft, and I do so under the Draft tab, Draft Pick Recommendations. And once I click this tab, I will see the draft board the same as I see it over here. We see the teams are all lined up. There it just went. Dark Knight, Dynasty, Carol's Expert Team, etc., all the way down to Josh's team. That's me. I will change that to something referencing the machine here in a moment when I go off camera. But we can see the draft order. We can see the positions available in our league, sorted by total fantasy points. Quarterback, wide receiver, and running back are by default. But we can drop down and see tight ends, kickers, defenses. Again, this is sorted by the expected fantasy points of the year, the projected fantasy points. And if you want to sort it alphabetically, you can click under the name, and it will do so. And again, you can sort it back again by fantasy points. Once players start being selected, you will see them show up on the draft board. It takes about 4 to 5 seconds for a player to show up. And then once I am on the clock, at 10, this draft pick recommendations will fill automatically. I won't have to do anything. It just comes up and tells me who it thinks I should take. If I ever want to see a recommendation before then, I can simply click Make Recommendations for my team, and the machine's top players will come up. So as you can see, the machine is recommending Adrian Peterson, Calvin Johnson, Doug Martin, Arian Foster, and AJ Green as my first picks. Now I'm all the way back at 10th, so we'll see what comes to me at 10th. And we'll be back for the start of the draft so you can see it as it happens. I did change my team name over to something more appropriate. And we do have a draft pick selection, Adrian Peterson. I can change it over to see the draft results on the Yahoo screen, but we shouldn't even really need it. We should just be able to see it over here as well. Okay, so they were taking way too long, so I had to do some cutting away. But now we can see the picks starting to roll in. We had Adrian Peterson, Calvin Johnson, Aaron Rodgers, Arian Foster, Doug Martin. But that still leaves us with some of our top players on the board. AJ Green is one of our top players. CJ Spiller is one of our top players. Des Bryant, LaShawn McCoy. LaShawn McCoy and Jamal Charles just went. We just had Drew Brees go. So we still got one of our top players, and then Marshawn Lynch went. So we'll see the recommendations as soon as it shows up here. And I've got a little bit of a slow internet connection, but I'm still having plenty of time. Top recommendation is a tie between AJ Green and CJ Spiller. So I could take either one of those players. They both give me an equal chance to win. We'll take AJ Green. And then I would assume that CJ Spiller will be the top recommendation, but let's wait and see. And one thing I did forget to mention, on the right-hand side here, this is the win percentage you are expected to get from your team after that pick. So we all start in a 10-person league with a 10% chance to win. So this AJ Green pick didn't really improve my chance to win that much. It just kind of kept it standard. And that's because most of these teams picked pretty well. And as we continue on, we want to get this number higher than all these other players. And you'll see our piece of the pie will grow and theirs will get smaller. Now I'm going to take CJ Spiller, as they said, and you'll see my win percent increase to 13.3% chance to win. Okay, we're back on the clock, and as you can see, it automatically popped up my my players that it thinks I should take, and it's recommending Maurice Jones-Drew, and that sounds great to me. We'll just keep our fingers crossed that he won't get hurt. And then let's see who it recommends as our second pick. Tom Brady, Roddy White are recommended the same. Vincent Jackson, Victor Cruz, Reggie Wayne, Torrey Smith, Randall Cobb. All these guys are right around in the mix here. But we'll take Roddy White. That's quite a fourth round pick. I'm a big fan of his. So the machine has recommended we take 2 running backs and 2 wide receivers. That's a pretty good start. And even drafting 10th, we've managed to get a 13.6% chance to win so far. That's second behind Dark Knight, and I think he's drafting first. Yep, he's drafting first, so he had a little bit of an advantage. And he's certainly doing well. Hey, maybe he's using the machine. But anyway, as we continue on here, we will keep you updated to the win percentage of each of our picks, and hopefully we can get that percentage to double. Generally speaking, the machine will double your chances to win your league. So hopefully I will be able to demonstrate that today, and we're shooting for a 20% chance to win this league. We're about to go on the clock again, so I popped it back up to show you that our win percentage is starting to stay ahead. I've got an 11% chance to win with just 1 pick yet to come for me. Still sitting at that 11% chance to win. So that means that as I start making picks here, my chance to win is going to continue to rise. I am going to take Tom Brady at the machine's recommendations. That's pretty good starting quarterback. And we'll see who the next player is, but it's just as simple as letting the machine do all the work for us here. And we're really coming away with a heck of a team. Torrey Smith, Mike Wallace, Reggie Bush, Hakeem Nicks, and Chris Ivory. And the machine really has these very close together. And you know, personally, I like Reggie Bush better than Mike Wallace or Torrey Smith. And it's perfectly fine if you don't want to take the machine's top recommendation for any reason whatsoever. Generally speaking, if you take from the top 5, will really increase your chance to win. But if you don't like that top player, or even in this case, the top 2 players, feel free to draft, the 3rd player. And that's what I'm going to do here, is I'm still taking a player recommended by the machine, but not the first pick from the machine. And that puts us at a 14.6% chance to win. Okay, our pick is really going to start coming up here soon. And you can see who just went. First defense is off the board. And the machine is recommending basically one of these 5 wide receivers. They're almost the exact same chance to win. I'm fine with Puree Garcon, the first recommended of the machine. So we'll take him. And now we're going to start to see defenses integrated into my recommendations. It might not recommend one for this round, but it very well might. And as you can see, it did. The Denver defense has been recommended. So I think we'll follow the recommendations there. I do like to get a top defense, so grabbing Denver here could make a big difference for me. And I'm not really too excited about any of these picks. One thing I do want to note is our projections haven't changed for Aaron Hernandez since the legal situation he's having. And that's something to keep in mind. You know, before you draft some of these players, you want to make sure you're abreast of all current player news. And in Yahoo leagues, you can find player news right at your league homepage under player notes. Okay, we just came back up on the clock here, and the machine is recommending some wide receivers for us. Antonio Brown, Denarius Moore, Stevie Johnson, Aaron Hernandez, who I'm not going to draft this early due to his legal trouble, and Josh Gordon. I am fine with the top recommendation of the machine here, Antonio Brown. So I'm just going to go over to wide receivers and draft him. And now we'll see our next one. Aaron Hernandez, who we will pass on. Tony Romo, a slew of wide receivers, and Jermichael Finley. I think Tony Romo's pretty good value here. He's a pretty good backup quarterback. So I will go ahead and take him. Okay, and we're back on the clock here. And one of our top players, Chris Ivory, is here a little late. So I'm going to go ahead and grab him. And then we'll see our next pick. That is Denarius Moore, Josh Gordon, Lance Moore, Aaron Hernandez, or Jermichael Finley. I think actually this is the lowest I'm going to take a player that the machine recommends, and I'm going to take Jermichael Finley. And the reason I'm doing that is because if Aaron Hernandez was not projected to score this many points, he would be pushed further down the draft board. That would make Jermichael Finley more valuable because there wouldn't be as many tight ends projected to score that many points. Also, kickers are available now. So as you can see, a kicker is starting to work its way into the mix of my my rankings. So we'll take Jermichael Finley. And we've really closed in on that 20% chance to win I was telling you guys about. We're sitting at a 18.1% chance to win right now. And I would be pretty surprised if we didn't get to 20. So things are starting to really look up for us. Around rounds 4 and 5, you really start to see the machine start to pull away as it makes good pick after good pick. So we do get a chance to take Justin Blackmon here, and I'm pretty excited about that pick. Really like this kid. So hopefully he keeps his nose clean, and we get to use him in the playoffs here. And now we'll see who the machine recommends for our next pick. And you can just kind of see the roster we're putting together over here. And it's looking pretty formidable. Aaron Hernandez, again, who we won't take even this late. I'm a little nervous taking him. Kai Forbeth, Greg Little, Shane Graham. Let's take Kai, the machine's top recommendation outside of Aaron Hernandez. So we'll find him on here, and we'll draft him. And now we're sitting at a 18.8% chance to win. And we only have one more pick left. So hopefully this pick will get us over the hump here and get us to that 20%. Okay, we're coming up on our last pick here, and we're at a 19.5% chance to win. 19.7. These picks that are being made ahead of us have really pushed up our chances to win. They didn't really like a lot of these picks that just went down. So here we are, last prediction, and we still have a chance to take Aaron Hernandez, Greg Little, Brian Hartline, Michael Floyd, and you know what? This late in the draft, I am going to go ahead and take Aaron Hernandez and hope he doesn't go to jail. You know, it's the last pick of the draft, and so that's worth the risk to me. But as you can see, hands-free. I didn't take anything out of the top 5 recommendations from the machine, and I ended up with double the chance to win that I started with.